here in this game one? I know you're a little bit colorblind, so I won't hold you to it. But do you think the kind of color strategy is enough to help Mystique?
I mean, style points have to be worth something, right? It's not just, you know, some little metaphorical thing coming through. I don't hate the draft overall. And like Kezu was saying, you know, you are going to be able to hold off the Broodmother at least a little bit. I mean, you and I were casting a few series in Southeast Asia the other day, and it was a Legion Commander against a Bristle, which, against a Broodmother, which did pretty decent to start with, but then they just didn't actually address it after the fact. And then we cast a Broodmother against, a Bristleback against a Beastmaster that just didn't allow the towers to be taken. So I really want to see them try and enable as much as possible for Team Mystique, so that he just never has to leave the lane, and Broodmother doesn't get that advantage that she needs to get that early pipe and really break the game open.
So you reckon this Bristleback is kind of keeping Vici Gaming on their toes here in this draft?
I don't hate it. You know, I think it's good. Certainly provides a lot. And I mean, when they were going and banning out the Viper in that last stage of bans, I'm like, what are they thinking about? You know, this isn't really a Spectre game. They've already picked their carry, yada, yada, yada. And they break out the Bristleback, and clearly it's for a reason. And just on that point of the Viper, there's no one that really likes to buy Break right now on Vici Gaming, and no one with the inbuilt ability for it as well.
I guess the one nice thing is that you do have this OD who has plenty of pure damage to be able to go through kind of the tankiness of the Bristleback. And like as you were saying, probably one of the best OD games you could really ask for, even though this hero isn't very strong at the moment. And well, when Setsu sees a free OD game, he's always going to call for it, considering how comfortable it is on the hero. We've already seen him play it once so far through the Division 2, so we're going to see it a second time. That game, he didn't go for the Scepter. I believe that was actually versus...
He was, it was against Outsiders. It's the one game that they lost. And he was probably the only shining light that Vici Gaming had in that one, right? Like, he was just trying to 1v5, essentially, because they were just way behind on the back of the draft. I actually wonder if it is a free OD game as well, because I remember back at, I want to say, like, TI 6 maybe, they had Arteezy on a panel when it was an OD picked up in the mid lane, and he called
Arteezy on a panel?
Yeah, I know.
Very interesting.
It was either Arteezy or Samel, one of the two. But he called the sniper pick as a counter to the OD, just because you're able to outzone it in lane. And that's really all that OD does, right? You want to be constantly spamming out your right clicks to be bullying away, and Lena's probably not the one to want to do that against. So Zone should be able to keep it far range to try and keep it away, but we all know how strong Setsu is as a mechanical player.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've been very impressed with Setsu's performance. I mean, everyone on Vici Gaming has really looked A tier, but a big reason why they're still yet to be defeated. So I'm kind of keeping tabs on, kind of, because we were saying this bottom lane is going to be a little bit boring, but I'm very intrigued to see as the game goes on, how Ray is going to be able to address the Broodmother. This is kind of the one nice thing that Team Mystique do have in their lineup, is that you got a lot of heroes with wave clear potential.
The downside of playing this Bristle into the lane, of course, is that you will naturally just shove it in a little bit, right? So Broodmother's going to be able to safely farm underneath the tower. Legion Commander really doesn't do that much as a position 5 in this lane, as well, FY getting a little bit cheeky, trying to toss him underneath the tower. Will that be the extra damage that they need to be able to get this kill? Wow. Yes, it will.
Oh, FY.
Kezu in shambles right now.
Boring lane, and it gets first blood. Oh wow, it is that top lane DQQ. They want to actually turn it back around. Spear's going to be able to set up for the cookie, but meanwhile, Erica's getting a crap load of damage onto the Snapfire. So even though they were able to kind of turn some spells back on a Yang, they weren't able to address the Morphling's right click, so Erica also will find an early kill.
They will indeed, and well, can't be given FY over that early farm, right? You know that he's going to make absolute abuse out of it. He gets the first blood over onto the Bristleback, and more importantly, it just frees up that Broodmother to have a much better lane. He's actually going into, is that a full Orb of Corrosion or just an Orb of Venom that he's going to have? He's just got him sitting in the stash right now, maybe just waiting for his Wraith Band to come out. Okay, so just wanting a little bit more of that armor. It's understandable against the Bristleback. You see a lot of these high armor heroes as the counter, at least for the lane, for the Bristle, to make his life a little bit more challenging as they go for even more kill attempts here, but he's not underneath the tower.
That is not, but New does have plenty of one charges to continue playing aggressively, but he's going to start to back off once the quills will stack up. I think this is another thing we need to kind of keep tabs on, is how Mystique look to try and enable the Bristleback in regards to the jungle. And you've already seen that Vici have kind of, you know, at least had that in the in their mind, considering how they're able to address this. Is already a ward placed over towards the triangle, so they're looking to try and keep tabs of that. Is Bristle in trouble? Press the attack when they're level 1. Gonna be a little bit of bonus health given back over to Bristle. Gonna try and charge down to FY. New's gonna be kind of cautious. 6 stacks of quills, make it a 7th now. New. One more right click. Unfortunately, but Ray's not gonna have enough mana here for the odd, so New will be able to step out to the left side. Bristle won't close.
Yeah,
Oh, they got.
done.
Oh,
Yeah,
nicely.
I saw that. I saw him just constantly running. I saw the 2 mangoes on the Bristle. I'm like, oh, will they do it? Will they have the comms? And, well, that's the sort of play that you need to be making. We've seen time and time again you be able to almost carry the game solo from the off lane. So to be able to get an early kill and response is going to be really nice for their morale.
Okay. Very nice. Speaking about the mid lane prior as well, does still look like Setsu's bodying this matchup in regards to the denies. 19 and 13 compared to the 20 and 3, so there is a level advantage at the moment. Lane is about to hit 5, but you see this is kind of still the big power of the OD, and it looks like Zone's even going to try and glyph up the wave just to stop Setsu from getting a range creep for free.
Mana is reduced by 712 at the moment on this laner just because of how much Setsu is spamming out that Astral. He's even got the infused raindrops because he knows he just wants to get up into that Lena's face as much as possible, and he's doing a great job with it.
Yeah, that is, and we're going to see the first rotation out of FI as well. Looks to drop an Observer Ward down in the mid lane. Radiant, they've already got their ward as well, so they will be aware of FY here. Unfortunately, that sentry is just out of range as well of the Radiant Observer that is about to expire.
Ridiculously close. The Observer placed down by Yang as well has scouted out a single stack inside of the Radiant Ancients area, so DQQ looking like he feels confident enough to leave the Mars alone in this lane for now. Lane's in a pretty good spot that NJ is not going to be dying. But yeah, they see instantly pinging it out here as soon as DQQ goes to build up some additional stacks for his Bristle. Give it a haste ring top. Nice for Zone to be able to pick up. We've got a little bit of a wild goose chase going on here between Ray and FY.
Yeah, I think FI was trying to steal the bounty there with the telekinesis, and did he get anything? Yeah, he got it in the end. So Ray wanted to try and chase him down, maybe get a little bit of revenge in the right click spot.
Also, we haven't got our predictions yet for the overall series time. What do you reckon? The lowest, I wrote it down as well. The lowest was 42.5 minutes. The longest was nearly 54.5. What do you reckon?
I had 46 or 47 pre-start of the show. Yang? Who's he going to run into? Just DQQ. What do you got down?
I'm going to give you 46.5 minutes. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Let's say 47.50.
Okay. All right. We'll see. You know, we'll see how the game's going to shape up. At least in regards to the laning phase, Team Mystique off to a pretty good start. All their cores have been able to find some farm across the map. Just waiting for those level 6s to come out, which is really the important thing. NJ closing in on his own arena capability. Meanwhile, bottom though, Bristle's a little bit of trouble at the moment. Insatiable Hunger, level 2, so the bonus damage there from New. Bringing Bristle down incredibly low. Ray's going to try and step in and offer the help, and well, he'll actually even bring FY down, so Ray getting another kill down bottom here on the Legion, and it looks like the Bristle's had enough of this lane.
Oh, he just needs to get out, right? He didn't have any resources left. At least he's been able to pick up that Ring of Health, and, well, he's going to take some Ancient stacks, it seems. The Observer Ward inside of that area has worn out. Yang, he's on the hunt to try and find him out, but well, they will be able to get that D Ward off, though. DQQ, just seeing if they could get an additional one, and well, Zone, I think, even built up another stack for him, so everyone is looking to assist here, realizing how important it is just to be able to stick him in that bottom lane, especially now that Broodmother's hit his level 6. Ray really wants that level 5 before he starts to spam out that overwhelming odds. Should get it with the range creep there.
So I guess for me, the one thing I'm really looking at is just the support's ultimates in particular, because then you're going to be able to have the Legion and the Snapfire look to combine together. Mortimer Kisses does have a much greater cooldown than what the Jewel does, but that is pretty much a guaranteed kill on anyone you're going to find. I suppose it depends if the Tusk or the OD is nearby for the save. But that's kind of what I'm looking for over the next coming minutes once we get the Tome available.
Are they in a position to move at all? Yang sees what's going on here inside of the Ancients area. He's going to back off in time, but I think Zone sees him, so he's going to skedaddle away as DQQ looking to try and get a little bit of a D-ward off going on here, and looks like he'll be able to accomplish it. So,
Yang been pesky though. Yeah, oh, mate.
We've cast too much together, you know? The minds are starting to meld a little bit.
Ugh. What was Fluke calling us? He said, was he calling us the
Magi,
Ogres?
aren't we? Yeah.
The Ogre Magi, yeah, alright.
He's even got the Ogre hanging on his microphone today.
Oh, alright. I might add, they look pretty cool. I might have to cop some.
Maybe just stick a photo of our faces up there.
Yeah, that'll be good enough. I'll take that. It'll represent the ogre.
Someone to do it.
Yeah, in our own unique way, it'll represent the twin-headed beast. He's very interesting. All right, well, there we go. 10 minutes, 2,000 net worth lead here with the boys on Vici Gaming. We will have those first tomes being acquired. Snap's going to pick up his. There's Ray, of course, being able to find all that solo experience down bottom, so he's going to get pretty close to his level 6 as well. As does look like Vici are trying to invade into Mystique's jungle, though. It'll be a little bit too late to contest the hard stack, but they don't really have a lineup to also take away the Ancients as well, so they're probably going to have to try and time it when Mystique are taking it.
That Sentry Ward placebound by DQQ is going to make sure that he doesn't die to this invis rotation coming through from Setsu. Setsu's still been able to pick up the Hand of Midas, though, so of course it synergizes so well with the OD. You really do end up scaling quite a bit off of the levels, and I mean, attack speed is at an absolute premium for the OD once the team fights start to break out. So makes a lot of sense, but with a lot of that farm that he was able to pick up in the jungle, has been able to come back down to this bottom lane. He's got 4 points in the Quill Spray.
He won't be able to lay here for much longer, though, with Yang showing up. Tag team heavily enabling News damage. Even Setsu's going to rotate down just in case a further fight does break out.
And Ray didn't actually help him, though. He was standing very, very close by with the full points and the overwhelming odds. It was a really big creep wave. 3 heroes committing forward as well. And, yeah, just leaving his Bristle back on his own. I really think they might have been able to defend this tower if they just committed the LC as well there. Maybe just wanting to wait for a full amount of health and mana to come back. I mean, he pops the overwhelming odds there. Where's Bristle going to TP to? He's coming straight back. Okay. See what happens.
Can you? Setsu's still here.
You gotta back
3
him up.
points in Arcane Orb. They're just going to kill him again. Sanity's dropped. They weren't able to finish the kill, and now NJ's even going to look to TP down. So Vici Gaming, they'll look to disperse from the area. NJ Arena just onto Yang, but the Snowball's going to be able to dodge it for the moment. Setsu doesn't have enough mana here for the Astral, so they'll be able to turn to find the Jewel. There's the mana required, though. So protected for the moment. Ray's not going to be able to find the damage, but the Mortimer Kiss is still getting a lot of damage as well. The cleanup's there, but further to the southern side, New. He was able to close the distance onto the Bristleback. Even Erica feels the importance of coming down to the bottom lane, so the Morphling will find that finishing blow onto DQQ, and in the end, Vici Gaming, I'll be able to bring 3 members down and now look to take their second tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I think they really needed to commit even further onto that, though, right? Like, you know that the Broodmothers hit this dangerous timing. You know that you've TP'd back on the Bristle with this. So if he died straight away, he was just going to be having to take that walk of shame. But it just kind of trickled in a little bit, right? Imagine if NJ TP'd onto the tower when they were actually looking to dive him. Then they can make a turnaround where the OD is not able to just walk away. And Setsu's spellcasting in that was just fantastic as well, wasn't it? Making sure to get the Astral onto the LC, prevent any kind of saves, bring the Bristle back low enough that New on his Broodmother was able to get the cleanup at the end there.
And for Mystique, that was your kind of first round of your ultimates. You're really hoping that you were able to get more kills out of it. Unfortunately, not the case. So now Kiss is on cooldown for another 45. Doesn't look like Vici going to look to try and punish that long cooldown, but this is what their lineup is going to thrive on. You need to be able to kind of execute team fights with your ultimates, and if you're unable to find the kills, and all of a sudden this game, we're going to see they'll get very behind at a quick rate.
Yeah, I wonder how much Ray is going to spend as he's getting a nice D-ward off inside the jungle. Yang able to dodge out the spear once again. He's been very quick on his fingers and his movements. Just in a lot of these little skirmishes here. He might be trying to bait here for Setsu showing up.
Arena's got to get, again, the snowball save. Setsu will tank the stun, zone on the outskirts. Astral's not enough to buy him some time. NJ's got spear up in a couple seconds. If he can try and find an angle. Yang ducks out of the right. The spear's going to be off the mark, and FI will steal it. Great ability now for the Rubik to have in the arsenal. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pop that bulwark fast enough.
Well, hopefully for his own sake. We saw it in a game yesterday. We had a Rubik up against the Lina, maxing out the Light Strike array. He's got the 2 points in it so far. Hopefully that's where it stays, because it is one of the best abilities to give over to a Rubik. And, I mean, FY makes the difficult look easy. You give him something easy, he shows you why he's one of the world's best.
I mean, look at all the abilities he can steal this game. Spear, Dragon Slave, LSA, Scatterblast, Cookie.
Press the attack would be great.
Legion, yeah. And the odds, I mean, that's going to be great as well to help with your farming speed. Yeah, this is going to be a game where we could definitely see FY make a lot of plays. And he's got Aether Lens already. Aether Lens, various trinkets. So, yeah, this Rubik's going to have a lot of impact already with the items that we see in his inventory.
Even just getting the Aghanim Shard, right, is going to be really useful. Steals Cookie, get value out of it. Steal Spear, get value out of it. It's not as strong, but even the overwhelming odds get some pretty significant value too.
We're going to look to see Vici smoke. They might actually even be considering Roche. They can take it pretty easily. Maybe feel like they need to pick off beforehand.
They might be trying to bait the Lina perhaps in this mid lane. They know that, you know, this... she's still had a decent enough game, right? Although with the Bristle and the Lina farming a similar sort of area, they might think that they're actually grouping up a little bit already on the
They're
Team
going to run into
Mystique
Yang.
side. Yeah, but that's not the target that you want.
Both the supports from Vici Gaming nearby. NJ's going to get the jump in the arena only onto the Rubik. They use the Mortimer Kisses as well to secure the kill. A couple of ultimates expended, and yeah, I don't know how you defend it now without these two ultis. So Erica denies a tower, I suppose. So a silver lining, but you might just look to go again on Vici Gaming. 15 seconds till FY is back alive. Maybe you're just happy with getting the tower and then go back to farming. That was kind of a fight into the objective you were looking for.
Yeah. The one thing I'm really looking at from Ray is what his item build is going to be, because as the position 5 Legion commander, I don't think your dual damage actually matters. You know, it's not going to provide anything super significant to you this game. You're here as a bit of a save bot for the Lina and to push out waves with that overwhelming odds and not die consistently in lane. So he's done a decent job of that so far, but I want to see him use the duel to be able to get the OD and just take him out of the fight with the duel. Not even look for the kills. If you give up the duel damage, it's not the worst. Just as long as OD isn't hitting your main target, which is going to be the Bristle or the Lina, I think you're satisfied. Also, just no save from the Astral as well, right? You're getting duels, you might need to snowball to stop that, and then that's 2 people taken out of Vici's side of the fight with only the position 5 on Mystique. So I really want to see how his positioning is going to be. He's got a lot of gold saved up right now, so wonder if he can look to get into that Blink Dagger, because Setsu's not going to be lax with his positioning.
Yeah, and we already see the items as well after the Blink. Ag Shard into the Aether Lens, so going to further help out with the positioning here from Setsu. To make it that much easier for him to be at the right place at the right time. We see Vici Gaming just sweeping across the map from top to bottom. They go, looking to try and take over the jungle. And Radiant do have some decent vision down. Kisses up in the next 5 seconds. So we'll see if they actually want to consider about defending this bottom side of the map.
I think they do. They don't want to give too much of the jungle away, especially with a Bristleback. I mean, he's so close to picking up the Aghanim Scepter, though, which is quite significant just for his effectiveness in these team fights. Even just the nasal goo stopping the spiders from chasing down some of the squishier supports or the Lina. So good positioning by Ray once again. Just hanging behind him, just far away that he can step on forward with the press the attack. Be able to provide a bit of a reprieve there to the Bristle. Again, not important for him to get a lot of farm, especially once he picks up that Blink Dagger for himself. So he's just playing the bodyguard role right now. And as long as you're not losing towers to the Broodmother, I think you're generally okay with this. Yes, you've still got morphling problems, but you've got a Lina to be able to fall back onto.
We are going to see Zone and NJ in combination. We'll run it to Yang. Great spear back into Zone's damage, so they're able to secure the kill into the tusk. But like you were saying before, so Morphling, Eric is getting a crap load of farm across the map. 2-0-1, top of the net worth, Dragonlance Manta already completed, so he is just loving all the space that the Morphling's getting right now.
I mean, it's going to need to be some like amazing plays coming through from NJ, like a blink spear into the arena just before he gets the attribute shift off. It's going to need to be Lina with Shadow Blade, for example, being able to get that Light Striker rate before he gets the shift off, or Legion Commander just being in position to catch him with a Blink Dagger without... I mean, look at his itemization as well on Ray, right? He's got Blink Dagger, Ghost Scepter. So I honestly feel the play is Ghost Scepter, Blink in, and Duel. Damage does not matter. It's just take someone out of the fight without dying. Get the full duration out of that duel.
Vici hasn't back out of the pit. See how they're going to try and control the area though. Bristleback, of course, being able to put himself on the front line. Scepter freshly completed from him.
He's got his as well though.
Oh, they're actually going to try and smoke. Gotta be cautious they group up because NJ, he
wants
Setsu and is going to be able to find him before the Ashtrap. The snowball just on the outskirts sucks him in to protect Setsu's OD. And now they use all their ultimate to try and turn the start into their favor, but it's not going to pay off as Mystique will get chased down one by one with the Bristleback soaking up the damage, but Setsu with the Arcane Orb will easily be able to pierce through all his health pool. As Vici final 5, and now they can look to go get Roshan as well.
There's just always a response though, right? Like you had the Guardian Greaves for a little bit of that sustain. You had Yang once again in the perfect position, and Setsu, I mean, with the Arcane Rune, he just popped off that fight. Able to take out the Lina incredibly quickly, not shy about using the Sanity's Eclipse to be able to start with, and that's the exact situation that I was talking about, right? You need to take out both the OD and the Tusk in all of these fights, and that's just to remove the save potential. So I don't think Mystique could have done much better at this stage of the game. They just didn't really want to give up that free Aegis over to the Morphling, who's already having a great game.
They are going to look to take a fight pretty rapidly after they respawn. They have the cliff ward, so they're scouting out that Vici aren't all connected at the moment, but NJ a little bit too late to find an opening with the blink into the spear on FY, so Vici will be able to reset. You were just mentioning how difficult it's going to be for them to control both the Tusk and the OD, and well, Yank, he's got a Blink Dagger pretty much coming out. Well, needs 50 gold for it, so we're always going to see a save.
See putting himself on the bottom side, feeling like, hey, it's my job to stand in front of this tower, but this is a scary Morphling that you're having to go up against, and well, it's going to get even worse. He's got the Skadi just about 1 or so items away. Like we were saying before, Tusk can afford to bring out the Blink Dagger now if he wants to. Luckily for Mystique, they're giving space over to Ray here. They're wanting him to get into that Blink Dagger for himself so that they can take away some of that save potential, and he should have it right now. So very nicely done there. As he purchases it up. Wants to stay off the map though. They need this to be a surprise factor.
They're setting on NJ, and yet Zone's he's just going to have to leave the area. Nothing that the Lina can do to protect their Mars. They'll watch their off-laner end up going down, and well, now this might give Vici Gaming an opportunity to start to control more of the map without the Mars for 35 seconds. Erica is a DD. News just baiting the Bristleback, hoping goes a little bit further to Vici Gaming's side. Bristleback, of course, very hesitant though. Ensure they don't overcommit. There's the reveal. More to the kill. Oh, Erica just blows him up. They stole the duel. FY jumps in, holds Zone into place. Now Erica will clean up. The G's are dropped. Team Mystique, a quick GG call for them as Vici Gaming will find game one.
They will indeed at 23:08. So, things looking good for predictions across the board.